Good Monday morning, and thanks for logging on to TDSweather.com. I'm meteorologist Joseph Cooper with your Weather Watcher outlook for this week. And we're starting off here taking a look at the current satellite as well as temperatures here. You can see we're into the 40s and 50s across the Ohio Valley. Of course, the big story today is going to be cloud coverage as we're having the solar eclipse later on today and this afternoon. And right now it's looking like a lot of the Ohio Valley, especially out into like Indiana, is going to have some pretty good viewing conditions. I know here in central Indiana this morning it is completely clear out there. There are some higher, thinner clouds out here to our west and southwest that will stream in, but overall those are just going to kind of give us some filtered sunshine, and I'm not expecting that to be a big issue here. If we go on over and take a look, this is the forecast cloud cover as the eclipse occurs, and essentially you can see what you're seeing is this red is like high thin cirrus clouds out here. So you can see, Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, even into Ohio, probably just going to have some higher, thinner cirrus clouds. And as you start to see the eclipse actually occur, that's not going to make much of a difference. It would be mid to low level clouds to be more concerned about. So places down into Texas and then potentially back out into northeastern Ohio and then back out into portions of New York and Pennsylvania could have some issues viewing it. But outside of that, really not too bad across a lot of the path of totality from northern Texas all the way back out into portions of the Mississippi Valley for today. So we go on over and we'll take a look. This is the upper levels for today, and you can see we've got troughiness back out to our northwest and to our southwest, but thanks to this ridging that's building in, it's allowing us to stay dry across the Midwest, giving us sunshine and very mild temperatures as that ridge continues to build in today and on into tomorrow. You can see troughiness down to the south. This trough down to the south is going to be responsible for some pretty active weather down there, including the threat for severe weather into the next several days. Starting today, and as we continue on into tomorrow heading through Wednesday, you can see that trough is digging in, and it's starting to impact us here into the Midwest as we work tomorrow more into Wednesday, because we'll see this trough come in and we'll see a frontal boundary move in with it. But you can kind of see the northern branch of the trough trying to kind of phase with this a little bit Wednesday into Thursday, and you can see that trough starting to deepen right across the Ohio Valley on Thursday. So by the mid to latter portions of the week, not only is it starting to become much more unsettled, it's also starting to become cooler out there. So we will see a cool period of weather as we work more Wednesday, Thursday, and then into Friday. But as we work into the weekend, this trough ejects off to the northeast, and as we work into Saturday, notice the big ridging starting to take place out here, take shape out across the central portions of the United States, and heading into Saturday as well as on into Sunday, this ridge takes control of our weather, and we'll see much more mild temperatures as we work through the weekend and on into early next week. Now, I say that comparatively today is going to be mild as well. I'm just saying compared to mid to latter portions of the week, it's going to be mild as we head on into the weekend. So we take a look here as we work into today. We have a frontal boundary up to our north as well as an area of low pressure, but I think for the most part that's going to remain well off to our north. A few showers down closer to the Ohio River by late into the day. As you work into the overnight, there's a cold front and an area of low pressure that's going to move on through tonight into tomorrow morning. And as we work through the day on Tuesday, this cold front pushes on through and brings us some minor shower chances. I don't think Tuesday's rainfall chances are going to be all that impressive across the region unless you're down closer, again, to the Ohio River. But as that cold front moves on through, and you can see by tomorrow evening, this cold front is essentially positioned right down across this area out through here, and you can see the rainfall out ahead of it. As it comes on down, it kind of stalls out. It weakens and stalls out across the region. So tomorrow night on into Wednesday morning, that cold front is down across the southern Ohio Valley, south of I-70. You've got another area of low pressure riding up along the cold front as we work through Wednesday. So again, southern portions of the Ohio Valley down into the Tennessee Valley as we work into Wednesday, we'll probably see the better rainfall chances. And then this is as we work on into Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, that area of low pressure coming up across the region. So Wednesday evening, Wednesday night into Thursday, rainfall across much of the Ohio Valley and down into the into portions of the Great Lakes is increasing. And then as we start to work on into the day on Thursday. Through the day on Thursday, this trough is digging in. One thing we'll watch here on Thursday, this area of low pressure moving on through. There could be enough instability and some moisture out across Ohio that maybe there's some strong to severe thunderstorms on Thursday with kind of a cold core low setup. We'll kind of continue to watch that. But then as we work Thursday and on into Friday, this low kind of meanders. So Thursday into Friday, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is pretty unsettled across the area, but then that moves out and high pressure moves in for the weekend. So Saturday looks pretty nice. And I would tend to say Sunday will probably be dry as well. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I tend to think Sunday with that upper level ridge building in is going to be quiet across much of the region. This is on through Wednesday evening. You can see the heaviest rainfall looks to be down across southern portions of the region. If we go on over and take a look at the blend data and we kind of progress this on out through the end of the week, you can see heaviest rainfall southern portions of Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, but we are seeing that spread to the northeast with maybe an inch or two back out across portions of northern Ohio and around an inch to an inch and a half out towards eastern Michigan. So we will see decent rainfall across southern portions of the region, but as you work northward, not so much in the way of rainfall. Like I said, today it's going to be really mild out there. A lot of us into the Ohio Valley will be into the 70s, and as we continue on into tonight, going into tomorrow, you can see that cold front coming in. Tomorrow, if you're south of the warm front, you're in the 60s to low 70s. North of it, you're in the 50s. And as we continue on into Wednesday with the cooler air coming in, we're into the 60s on a more widespread scale. On Thursday, we're into the 50s to low 60s across the region, so it's much cooler Thursday. But you can see the warmth slowly starting to return here Friday, but especially more into Saturday as we're back into the 60s and 70s in a lot of locations. And then same story here on Sunday. I mean, we'll be into the widespread upper 60s to mid 70s across the Ohio Valley with a lot of 60s up into the Great Lakes. So like I said, we'll be cooler as we work on into the mid to latter portions of the week, and then we'll warm right back up into the weekend or through the weekend. Severe weather-wise, we're going to see multiple days of severe weather across the southern portions of the United States. Enhanced risk today from Dallas points on off to the west for damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes. Enhanced risk down across kind of south central Texas, back out into western portions of Louisiana tomorrow, and we could see potentially some strong tornadoes there. There is a marginal risk back up into eastern portions of Michigan, back into northern portions of Ohio tomorrow for damaging winds. And then day 3, you can see the risk coming back out again across the deep south from Louisiana back into Mississippi and Alabama, where there's an enhanced risk down there, damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes possible. And then we can see a couple areas of 15% risk outlined for Thursday, the first along the frontal boundary out here into the southeast, but then we also have another risk out here into portions of Ohio, down into portions of Kentucky, down towards Lexington for damaging winds, hail, and maybe an isolated tornado. There is definitely the possibility there where you could see some strong to severe weather on Thursday under that upper level low. We'll have to see how that plays out. More details to come on that. So that's what we're looking at here over the next week. It's going to continue to be an up, down, and pretty active pattern here as we head on in through, it looks like at least the next couple of weeks into April. But at least there's some warmth in play there. Everybody, thanks for logging on. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.